from the talks all week long. We're done with Cowboy stuff. We move on to the world of sports. Deion Sanders to the Cowboys. I am sitting in the office of one Michael Irvin. And he has been the biggest prognosticator. He has been the biggest voice as of late. He was at the Jake Paul Tyson fight. You want to talk about smack in the face? Imagine you're the family of Michael from Pittsburgh. Just for a second. Imagine you're the family of Michael from Pittsburgh. And you too are tuning in because you didn't want to go to the fight. You didn't want to go to the stadium. Our very own, Tay, you caught Michael from Pittsburgh leaving the fight. You can find that footage on Fanatics View. But imagine you're the family, distant family, maybe even some immediate family that was at the crib and said, you know what, honey, you go. I don't want to deal with traffic, parking, it's too loud, my anxiety. I'm going to watch it from home. And you power up your good Netflix on Jay-Z's internet and you watch this fight. And as you're watching this fight, you happen to see, oh, there's Jerry Jones at the table of the commentators of this fight. He's accompanied by one Michael Irvin. And the conversation is about the new head, possibly, coach. And Michael Irvin is at the table screaming at the top of his lungs to the owner, who's like his dad, about bringing Deion Sanders to be the next head coach of the football team that your family member who's at the fight currently holds. It's gotta be tough. It's gotta be tough. And then the owner, your boss, says nothing to really tamp out the things that Michael Irvin, who he has said, Jerry has said, that Michael is one of the key figures of guys who has his ear. So when Michael suggests things, Jerry at least listens and takes them into consideration. Damn. But Michael, he said it on multiple platforms. Colin Cowherd, It Is What It Is, ESPN, anywhere that Michael can get volume turned up, he's talked about Deion, and not just Michael. I'm saying Mike because I'm sitting in his office. And maybe that's rude of me to do that, but what the hell? Michael come talk to me about it if he feels some kind of way. Yeah, he talked to me about it. And it's not just Mike. It's all the other networks and all the other media members and so on and so forth about Deion Sanders becoming the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Leave your comment in the comment section on whether or not you think Deion Sanders should be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, leave your comment. I am going to call your comment stupid, but leave it anyway. But please leave the comment and even tell me why you think that. And I'm still going to call it stupid because even the thought process of outside of just him being Deion Sanders makes no sense. One, the Cowboys ain't drafting Shedeur. I'm not saying that Shedeur is not a top 5 draft pick or a top 10 draft pick. But you have to understand the economics of this football thing. Y'all play a lot of fantasy football and a lot of Madden, and it's just, draft him and do da. Yeah, there's a thing. There's a no trade clause in the contract of Dak Prescott. Oh, and by the way, they owe him $140 million in the next 2 years. $140 million. $140 million the next 2 years. So what would be the reason that the Cowboys would consider, with their top 10, they currently sit at 9, what would be the reason for them to draft Shador? What would he do here? Sit? You're not putting $140 million in the next 2 years on the bench. You can't trade $140 million in the next 2 years away. You can't cut $140 million in the next 2 years from your team. So drafting Shador would be ass a 9, ass a 10, ass 11, ass a 12, and dumb as hell. And even drafting Shador, with the way that this team is built, you'd be benching him in 7 weeks. You thought he took a beating at Colorado for holding the ball too long. When them NFL boys hitting them real hard for holding the ball too long because this offensive line can't keep them upright, you're going to have $140 million on the bench and the guy that you're playing, whatever he worth at that time, getting his head knocked in. Secondly, Deion loves power. And he's not ego driven. Well, maybe. I don't know if he's power driven, but he does love the ability to call his own shots. He did it when he had the Truth Pop Warner League. He called his own shots when he did it at Prime Prep. He called his own shots when he coached Trinity. He called his own shots when he coached at Jackson State. He's calling his own shots at Colorado. Why in the world would he want to give up full-on autonomy? He is the alpha and the omega of what happens in the Colorado football program. To do what? To come have to debate with Jerry Jones about who he can draft and sign and all that other kind of stuff? Can you imagine for 1 second? And let me, because I know what some of y'all are going to say, but I'm going to address that for a second. Could you imagine Trayvon Diggs, $90 million contract, and he's turning down tackles? Could you imagine Deion having to go out there and put Mozzie Smith on the field each and every week when you know the things that he's been asked to do, stay low, get leverage, and push, and he can't do those things? Can you imagine him saying, my second-round tight end, Luke Schoonmaker, can't line up right? Can you imagine Deion trying to deal with that of people who get paid? See, it's one thing to deal with kids. I can mold, I can shape, I can help. But I don't have the patience to do that with a dude who's making $13, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 million a year. CD has one of those moments where his body language is bad and he's pouting on the sideline, or he's not running his route full speed, or any other receiver. You think Deion want to deal with that? And then on top of that, Jerry going to have to pay him between $15 and $20 million a year. Why would he leave that? Why would he leave that? And I know some of you are going to say, well, you need a guy like that because the players in that locker room will respect him. Have you seen this generation? Have you been around this generation? One, they know of Deion. Deion is, most of these kids, if you didn't talk about Deion as a coach at Colorado, They don't know who Deion is. They don't remember Deion. Deion was, the last time when Deion was relevant is when the Cowboys were winning Super Bowl. It's 30 years ago. 25 years ago. Some of these cats ain't even 25. They weren't even born when prime was prime. You think these cats respect because of what he did? These little jokers don't respect their damn mamas. Not all of them. But we live in a generation now where you think because he Deion, that they going to all of a sudden now grow this unlimited respect for him? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? That ain't even in the culture of young people anymore. They ready to cuss coaches out. You think they give a damn because he Deion? They don't hold Deion in great regard and in great reverence like you and I do. I'm 40. Some of y'all are 30, 35, 50, 60. We knew what prime was when prime was. All they know prime now is, oh, he a coach. Maybe some of them Google their highlights. That whole, they gonna respect him because he's prime. What? You know why Bill Belichick had this? Bill Belichick. You know why he had to get up out of there? Because Bill Belichick, when he was in his heyday, he had players, older players, that actually respected him. They came through his program. They came through the system. They enjoyed the winning. He held everybody accountable. Bill Belichick had to get up out of there because he could not rule these young people, and he could not get them to do what he wanted them to do out of fear, out of teaching, whatever. They wouldn't do it. And that's why he couldn't win. So don't think for 1 second because he's Deion that these young kids all of a sudden now going to be like, we respect you. Yeah, we're going to respect you. Nah, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do. I'm not. Zeke was suspended a couple of weeks ago because he was thrown up late. Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl. Super Bowl winning coach. He is one of, record-wise, he is one of the winningest coaches in NFL history. Zeke didn't respect him enough to show up to meetings on time. You think Deion changes that? What? Nah. Deion gonna stay right there in Colorado. And if I'm Deion, which I'm not, but if I was, I would want to dead all of the conversation about Deion Sanders leaving Colorado. Because I got recruits that I need to get. Today, when you see this, yesterday, Deion got the number 2 overall recruit, Julian Juju Lewis, to decommit. He decommitted on Sunday from USC. He's committed to Colorado, 5-star quarterback. He's an early enrollee, so he'll be enrolling in late December, early January, and they'll be getting him revved up. He'll probably be a part of the team if they go into a bowl game, the practices, the meetings, and then he'll probably be the guy heading into the year as the starting quarterback in spring football. If I'm Deion, I want to dead the conversation because I don't want no recruit getting cold feet and saying, I don't know if you're not going to be here, coach. I'm going here. I'm going to Georgia. I'm going to Alabama. I'm going to Texas. If I'm Deion, I'm like, hey, I'm calling Mike. Hey, man, stop. Dead that. I'm calling Stephen A. Hey, bro, if I'm your friend, stop saying that. Dead it. Don't put it on your conversation. Don't put it on your headlines. Because now I'm having recruits call me and call my coaches and calling and asking the question of, are you going to be here? I would. I was a 4-star recruit coming out. I want to know. If I'm going to commit to you, you going to be here for at least my 3 years? No? You can't give me a straight answer? Oh, I don't believe the answer that you're telling me? Don't worry. I'm going to go to Oregon. I'm going to go kick it with Dan Lanning. I'm going to go kick it with Kirby Smart. I'm going to go kick it with, name it. Deion ain't coming to the league, y'all. It's a great story. I get we're in times where we want to have the clicks and the headlines and the engagement. If he comes to the league, he ain't coming to Dallas. Nothing makes sense. The only thing that makes sense about that is that he has a home here. That's it. But Shador will be at AT&T Stadium. Shador and about 5 or 6 other Colorado Buffaloes will be participating in the East-West Shrine game that takes place it used to take place at the Star. Now it'll be at AT&T Stadium. So you guys will you'll get Shador at AT&T. It won't be for the Cowboys. It's funny because I guess the guy who runs the East-West Shrine game, he's like, yeah, we don't pay for players to come here, yada, yada, yada. Now, you done got Shador. You done got Shador in all of Colorado. And it's a good play. You're going to AT&T Stadium. The Star only seats about 10,000, right? 10, 11,000 at the Star, I believe, in that football stadium. And 90 at AT&T. So you want to get more people in there, more eyeballs, more viewership, more money. 12,000. Yeah, 12,000. No, you want to put on a spectacle. You want to put on what Texas high school football puts on, 50,000. You want to triple what you did over there. Well, how do you do it? You got to get the names. And people are going to come out to see. I can do it now. Let me make sure when I do this. Ain't nothing on my watch that ain't supposed to be on there. The Shador. The Shador. That's what you get now. Now, you can say you didn't pay them. But the Sanders, they don't work for free. You don't get all those folks to come over there. And you don't get some. Now, maybe you don't play them. Maybe East-West Shrine game doesn't pay them directly. But you got a sponsor that works directly with you that indirectly pays them. However you've done it. Good job. It's a business. And so you have to do what you have to do to get the butts in the seats. All right, man.